Welcome, everybody, here to the Sports Talk Network channel, specifically here tonight. Welcome to Steve's Wrestling Ramble. I do encourage Kyron Chase, Mark Rambo, even Raunchy Mikey, who doesn't even on YouTube too much anymore, and others to check out my episode of last night, Talking Packers with Steve, my NFL show, where it started off regularly, and halfway through I do give my predictions for all the games, and as I always do, say rambling awesomeness and that stuff as well. But in the second half of that episode, I had two great friends over at Team Boy TV Live, that YouTube channel that talk NFL each and every week usually. Right now they're on a hiatus, but anyways, I had Glass and Big Q from that show, and we were talking about the protests and everything, and where it originated. So a lot of great insight and depth there in that part of the episode from last night. So I encourage anybody and everybody that's watching this right now, or watching archived, or later on, or whatever, and however, to check that out if you want to. Obviously you don't have to, but I encourage you to hear perspective from individuals, let's just say, that understand the course issue of what Colin Kaepernick was protesting originally. I'll just put it that way, as a tease. And definitely, like I said, definitely check it out, hear their thoughts on things, and my learning things as well while hearing them speak on such elegance and grace on that topic. So again, welcome to check that out, Steve, or Talking Packers with Steve. Last night episode simply wasn't titled Week 4 predictions for the week, but the second half really where it came, we're talking about the protest and such like that. But let's welcome here and talk about WWE, as we do here in this show for sure, as it is Steve's Wrestling Ramble. If he is back, we'll wait a little bit until he's back on camera. But Kyron Chase, my co-host, is here with me tonight. It's great. I appreciate it. This episode might be quick, might be long, who knows? But the Packers are playing tonight, my team, and it's Chicago Bears for Thursday night. So I want to get back to my family enjoying the game, but I want to at least get an episode out and make sure at least we're talking about it as in depth as we can. So I thank Kyron for being here, and I was thinking about having it a late night, but if I had it a late night after the game, because on YouTube you can have it anytime, but then I knew for sure Kyron wouldn't be able to join me, or anybody would be able to join me, let alone people watching live or otherwise. So like I said, definitely check out what we like this video, share it, subscribe to the channel, and all the other fun stuff. Let people know about this channel. Let people know about the podcast that I do. You know, I'm 900 and change away to get to 1K subscribers. But like I said, when I get to 200 at least, because right now I'm sitting at 183, I will do a Q&A video. So we'll see. You know, whatever comes with either I crawl and get to 200, or out of nowhere I wake up and I have a 1,000 the next morning here shortly or something. Either way, I'll be doing a Q&A soon, and then when that happens, either the 200 1K, either one, I'll be doing that video saying, send in your questions, yada yada, and go from there. Again, we'll wait a little bit till we get Kyron back on camera and introduce him, and we'll move on forward, talking about Raw, SmackDown, everything WWE, news and notes, and otherwise, and other things you maybe even people that are watching live want to bring up, share, bring to the table, so to speak, here in our chat about everything. But certainly, like I said, for those that are able to check out the episode from last night from my NFL show, I was talking about the protests and stuff. I really should put that as the in the title of that episode, but I might do that here later tonight, or while I'm watching the game, or at halftime, whenever, however. But I don't know if Kyron's back. Probably talking maybe to his family or doing other things. But I'll just wait. Like I said, I would talk about Raw SmackDown, but I already do my reviews and did and shared my thoughts on both the Raw show and SmackDown Live. Trust me, my SmackDown Live review was certainly interesting with my thoughts on Dolph Ziggler and him, and The Undertaker, and also PC Amplified as well. So definitely want to rewatch that if you're specifically just a wrestling fan watching that kind of content here on this channel. So obviously welcome to view that. But like I said, I'm just rambling here, waiting for my co-host to be able to get back. Hopefully he is able to. I mean, he is here. I'm just waiting here a little bit until he's on camera again. That's what's going on with news. Another thing is, and I apologize for this radio silence in a way, but I'm just waiting for the co-host for him to arrive so we can get this show off and running, get the show done as quickly as possible. Like I said, the Packers are playing, and I want to get back watching the game with my family. So, not too much going on with news-wise in WWE. At least so Paige coming in, Caitlyn or Lesbanian, whatever, might be coming back. So that's going to be interesting. And Paige reportedly cleared to come to WWE, and then rumored for her to come back on SmackDown. Other things going on. Other little news and notes and things going on, like Alexa Bliss and Mickie James segment being highly popular in WWE. Was surprisingly, I was impressed with how on social media they were trending with Alexa Bliss and Mickie James there. So those are topics that we're going to be discussing a bit at that time for sure. But then again, as I said, we're here. Welcome to introduce my co-host, the co-host for the evening. Like my episode might be short, might be long, who knows? But we get back to the Packer game and going from there. But let's welcome the co-host, Kyron Chase. How you doing this evening?
What's up, Steve? I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing all right. I'm not can't complain. I mean, like I was telling everybody with my NFL show last night, and the second half was really heartfelt. I hope people are able to see that because the dialogue that I had with my two guests that were able to come on in the second half of said episode last night definitely shine a light on the protests and their thoughts and feelings, and even there's some stories they even shared from their own experiences in life, with that situation. So, yeah, it definitely was. Hopefully people do give that a listen. Like I said, it's definitely eye opening for those that do watch it. But moving on here, talking about wrestling. I guess, like I said, I do my Raw and SmackDown review, so I want to give my thoughts on the two shows. So I'll kick it to you, Kyron Chase. Your thoughts on, or start with Monday Night Raw and everything that went down there.
I'll be honest with you, Steve. I didn't really enjoy Raw that much. Everything done with the cruiserweights, I enjoyed at the end. I love the Mickie James and Alexa Bliss segment. Me being how old I am, Mickie James, after Trish and Lita retired, Mickie was literally my favorite female wrestler during that time. She's a childhood favorite of mine. And even, at her age, she still can wrestle if WWE invested in her. She still can cut a good promo. She still looks very gorgeous. Other than that, Raw didn't really wow me, nothing else. I did enjoy the Braun Strowman and Dean Ambrose match, but really, Raw was skippable if you ask me.
What did you think of with the Miztourage doing that whole Shield thing? You think we're going to get the Shield next week?
I'll be honest, I don't want it, but obviously that's where they're going to. JD from NY, he covered this better than I ever could. Basically saying, a Shield reunion should be bigger than this, not the Miztourage, something bigger like if you were doing turn Finn Balor heel and let the club run wild with Balor on Raw and just take over Raw, he takes the Universal title and Anderson and Gallows take the tag team titles. And then they take the Shield. I would buy that. But the Miztourage, I don't think that's what they should do a Shield reunion on.
Yeah, I agree in that sense. But for me, for someone that's just been waiting for that to happen, for that reunion to happen, for if it does happen here against the Miztourage, I have no issue in that in any way. I mean, at least have them back and then maybe build to something bigger for WrestleMania. Maybe that's what you have at WrestleMania, Shield versus the club, and hold it off to then and have them returning to face maybe an inferior team like the Miztourage. Okay, fine. And, people like yourself, JD and others might not like that idea of them coming back for that. But if you hold them together and have them going to, maybe not WrestleMania, because I'm sure Roman Reigns will be facing Brock. But point being is, the big show, maybe Royal Rumble itself, having that match, and then moving on from there, for each superstar doing their own thing. And, we could have, at that point, maybe even Roman Reigns, at least at Royal Rumble time, Intercontinental Champion or something with Dean Ambrose and Seth the Tag Team Champion, or the other way around, like you said, with Finn Balor with the Universal title and the club being the Tag Team Champions for over on Raw. But either way, I hope that's the end game, at least for the Shield, depending on how long, it also depends on how long WWE wants to have the Shield back together. So I certainly would hope it to be for a longer term. But if it's for short term, we at least get that match, because that's one match that most have been wanting to see ever since the club came to WWE, and we saw the interaction with AJ Styles when they were on All on SmackDown with the New Day, and then the Shield together there on that Tribute to the Troops, I think it was, or some other random show, where they were all having that backstage moment there, talking about best tag teams and best trios or best whatevers, and again you had those three trios there, so it'd be interesting in that way of however they would go and how they book having the Shield come back. Again, like I said, I have no issue if they come back and face the Miztourage first, fine. Defeat the Miztourage and go from there, and then, like I said, maybe later on you have them facing the club and Finn Balor, and then just repackaging, totally calling them just Club Balor altogether as the name. So Club Balor versus the Shield, you'll do a lot from there and build up to it in the match itself at a Royal Rumble or otherwise. And that match would be WrestleMania worthy, but like I said, Roman Reigns is going to be tied up, at least we all assume it to be the plan. He can be tied up facing Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. So as much as this match would be a WrestleMania worthy match, it probably would have to go to either Royal Rumble or the very least Survivor Series, one of those other big show itself, because I don't know, as much as I say about giving other pay-per-views a chance, I don't see a match with those 6 superstars happening at anything but big shows, the big 4, in any light. So those are being the big pay-per-views kept coming. Because Survivor Series, Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, and like I said, WrestleMania, Roman Reigns, maybe Balor being tied up in things at WrestleMania one-on-one contests and other feuds, other things, and maybe even same with the club, the tag team division for WrestleMania. Because again, WrestleMania is going to spread along and have more matches, 12 to 16 matches. And any big pay-per-view. The point being is then you have that with the Shield and Club at the Royal Rumble or otherwise. So I certainly wouldn't hate that for sure. But I just wanted to bring that up. Didn't bring it up yet for Raw, but let's move on then to SmackDown. What were your thoughts or highlights from the SmackDown brand from SmackDown Live this week?
Everything done with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn was good. Everything about it. Both promos they cut, the match itself, Shane coming down the end was good. But honestly, other than that, and Bruce segment, I thought either you liked it or you didn't. I've heard people say it was full cringe. I've heard people say it was hilarious. I thought it was funny. Rusev is really charismatic, and I really wish WWE would do more with him. But other than those two things, once again, I really didn't feel like either show wowed me this week.
Okay, that's fair. Actually, I wanted to check on, first of live chat, thanks to those that are watching live, but checking my polls. I know from Raw, the Insta poll was showing more of terrible than good. But beyond that, for SmackDown Live in general in itself, again, people heard my thoughts on the review on Tuesday night, but I was going off with Dolph Ziggler and the Undertaker thing and not liking that. I think that was just my emotion at the time. Of course, raw emotion about SmackDown Live there, and then with anything else going on with SmackDown Live, I didn't really have much to say because, like I said, I was focused so much on that part. But going back to my Raw Insta poll, 9% said great, 36% said good, 27% say okay, and 28% say terrible. So the good one with 36%, 11 votes in that. And for the SmackDown Live Insta poll, 38% said great, 33% said good, 19% said okay, and 10% said terrible. 21 votes, and the winner being 38% with great. So that's how the people see it. That did vote. Again, 11 votes for Raw, and the outcome being 36% good. And then for SmackDown Live, 21 votes and 38% saying great. So good and great for Raw and SmackDown, at least from the collective audience that voted on the Insta polls.
Steve?
Yes?
You said the Ziggler segment pretend to be Undertaker. You were upset about that. Let me ask you something, bro. Did you really believe that was the Undertaker? I mean, I understand you might be upset about it, but at the same time, I didn't pop it on. I'm like, as soon as I saw it, I said it's Dolph Ziggler, isn't it? It didn't really catch me by surprise.
It's not that I was upset that it wasn't the Undertaker, because to be quite honest, when I first heard the gong, I was super pumped and think it was the Undertaker. Then a couple seconds later, I know it's kind of weird, but it's just how it went for me. Then a couple seconds later, I realized, oh, this is just Dolph Ziggler because we haven't seen Dolph Ziggler yet do his thing now. So I was like, oh crap, this is gonna be Dolph Ziggler. So then, you know, it was all right. So it wasn't that I was expecting the Undertaker. Again, like I said, right when I heard the gong, I was hoping, oh, you're awesome, Undertaker's here. And then a few seconds later, realizing it's going to be just Dolph Ziggler than it was, as it came to find out, obviously. But I think what I was upset with, and maybe now days later, realizing that maybe I was a little too upset then, but what I was upset at the time of it was I feel like Dolph Ziggler disrespecting the Undertaker. Now days later, I realized it was just Dolph Ziggler being that heel. And you know, if you're doing the entrance of the Undertaker, you are going to piss off people. So you're doing your job as a heel because you're trying to get people mad. You want to reach through the TV and choke you out or whatever because of that. But I was upset because of that, and then that got me into a different tirade about BC Amplified, the YouTuber. But specifically with Dolph Ziggler, I was upset that because I'm kind of worried, you know, all that other stuff like is disrespecting the Undertaker. What the hell are you doing? Fine, I was okay with the Macho Man, the late Macho Man Randy Savage, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, DX, pretty much everything else, the late Ultimate Warrior, and others. I was okay with that. I wasn't so upset with that. Some were even entertaining to me. Some, like Bayley, and him doing Naomi's entrance, the two women ones, because, you know, it's a man doing a women's entrance, sort of weird and interesting and entertaining to me. But all that was fine. Okay, but now you go and cross the line to me. At least it seemed like in that night, and I'm just being honest because that's what I felt. If people did watch it or rewatch that episode of the SmackDown review on this channel, you'll hear me say this then with more vitriol and more oomph than I'm saying it now, obviously. But just thought that it was disrespectful at the time, and was like, okay, now you've gone a little bit too far, Dolph. And I even said that, okay, now I want this end game to be him leaving WWE. I don't want him getting a push. I don't want him winning championships. I want any of that stuff. I want him gone. I want him to leave. I want him not to sign back. He can go to comedy. I know he likes that. He thinks he's good at that. He can smirk and do all that he wants there. Good luck to him. I'm sure he'll do fine. So, yada, yada, blah, blah, who. But that's just how I felt then. That's what upset me about it. It wasn't that I was upset because I thought, oh, the Undertaker was going to be there, and I was disappointed in the end that it was Dolph Ziggler. It was more the fact of him being or pretending to be or whatever, mocking the Undertaker. And to me, at that time, again, on Tuesday night, I thought that was a line not to cross. Now, again, 2 days later, now hearing on my podcast and reflecting and understanding what exactly this whole thing is about with Ziggler and this run in the situation. All right, fine. And it got to where it was supposed to go with Bobby Roode and everything. And hopefully, you know, Bobby Roode probably winning the feud and moving forward from there. But I still think and wonder and hope that it probably will end with Ziggler leaving and not resigning and doing something else. And you know, just being able to him venting his frustrations on things and just being able to let loose and, you know, join for a final run of anything or whatever. It's not even a run because I see him losing to Bobby Roode. So it's not really going to be going anywhere. It's not even a run. It's not even that. It's just WWE, in some sense, not even caring what Ziggler's doing. So they're just okaying him to do this. Okay, fine, whatever. Get whatever you're off your chest and, you know, doing it in as a character so you can't get yelled at if you said it backstage as your person or as yourself, where then it would definitely be different if you're disrespecting superstars and their entrances and that, but do it as a character where then it won't be that much. And people will just see it as you being a heel and being an ultra, you know what. Ultimate, you know what, kind of move, if you catch my drift. So, in that sense, I still hope that to be the end game. But if it's not, if it is supposed to be a push for Ziggler and it's supposed to be the cost of Bobby Roode, then I'm not going to be too happy when we get, excuse me, personally, next Sunday, actually already, when we get to Hell in the Cell and Bobby Roode loses to Dolph Ziggler because it's supposed to be a push for Dolph Ziggler. No, it's not going to be a push for Dolph Ziggler. It's not going to be a run for Dolph Ziggler. It's not going to be a this or that for Dolph Ziggler. It's pretty much the end, the start of the end for Dolph Ziggler in WWE, at least for now. Take some time off, recuperate, either wrestle somewhere else or concentrate on comedy, do whatever you want to do. Find Dolph, just get off my screen. And we'll go from there. Just like I say about Booker T on commentary. You got to go. So, Booker T got to go. Dolph Ziggler got to go. And then all will be okay, at least to me personally. So, that's all we need to change, you know. And with rumors of Coach coming back, Coach can take your spot, Booker T. And if they
Coach
have
is
to have,
coming back.
well, it's rumored that he might be coming back. So, but either way, that being fixing that issue. But with Dolph Ziggler, yeah, I was a little, or very, not even a little, as people could tell from that episode, upset with Dolph Ziggler portraying The Undertaker. Again, it wasn't because I wanted The Undertaker there or thought it was going to be The Undertaker. No, it was because Dolph Ziggler kind of crossed the line to me from all the other ones he was portraying, except he was crossing the line being and portraying and whatever of The Undertaker.
Uh, I honestly didn't mind it that much because I mean this Ziggler thing is either been like people either like it or they don't. I'm indifferent to it. Sometimes it's funny, other times it's stupid. Well, it's stupid in general, but it's the bad type of stupid. I mean, for those, and I'm not just talking about you, Steve. I know, excuse me. I know a lot of people saying, "Oh, it's disrespectful to a legend like The Undertaker," and I guess you could say that, but at the same time, he impersonated the late great Macho Man Randy Savage and the late Ultimate Warrior. So those are two legends who are dead that he impersonated, and no one really was this angry. Well, I know Dana Warrior wasn't happy about it, but still.
Yeah, just just how I saw it there specifically. I just want to bring that up. See your thoughts on that from the SmackDown show, which certainly was interesting in its own right. But yeah, that's again pretty much it's for our your thoughts on this Raw and SmackDown, and too much else really for shows to be talking about. I know with Enzo Amore with 205 Live and being the champion there. Um, I guess we'll see how long that run goes, and Neville there's an opportunity, or they just doing that to hold off to having a rematch and let other people go in front of him, and then have Neville win like the championship later on, like in a Royal Rumble or something. I don't know exactly where that is going there for the cruiserweight division and Enzo Amore as champion, but I don't know. Part of me doesn't see this being a long run, but hey, maybe depending on how Enzo does as champion, in all aspects, whether it's viewership ratings and otherwise, but just in how he does in work and not being heel. Maybe this time around might be longer than either first planned or as long as I may want it to be, and other reasons and other thoughts that are going on. But either way, Enzo is the cruiserweight champion is certainly interesting and unexpected. That's why I didn't predict that to be, but I should have known that was probably the course of action they were going to go. So that's pretty much obviously, like I said, my thoughts were from the reviews. Kyron gave his thoughts on Raw and SmackDown himself here. So otherwise, it's pretty much it for talking about shows for WWE. A little bit of news. Like I said, this probably will be a shorter episode because of the other things going on with NFL and stuff tonight for me personally. But with news, there is a couple of things I did want to bring up first. With I guess since we already brought up with Coach, rumor of him coming back, responding to a fan's tweet talking about wanting Coach back and having him replace Michael Cole and this and that. The coach responding, "So would I. I would like to return, but instead of replacing Michael Cole, he would like to be with Michael Cole on commentary." So he was able to come back. So what are your thoughts on that? Would you like to see the coach back in any capacity, in any way in WWE?
It also depends on how they use them. I mean, coaches left WWE and had like a new type of well, I don't want to say legacy, but it's not the same as when he first WWE, because when he first WWE, they used it for a lot of slapstick, funny, and they, and coaches just like Mr. Man was never afraid to look stupid for the company. But actually, I think they'll bring him back more as a play-by-play guy like Mauro Ranallo was. I mean, I hope he doesn't. If he does replace anyone, he'll probably replace Booker T. Because don't get me wrong, I love Booker T as a wrestler. He's one of my favorites, especially his King Booker gimmick, which is honestly one of the funniest gimmicks I've ever seen in my life. But at the same time, Booker T is not very good at commentary. From time to time, he has good moments, but you got Graves, who I think is great. And Cole, if he's given the right script, he can be good too. So I think Cole would fit right in with him. I mean, Coach would fit right in with Cole and Graves.
Yeah, and for me, how I would bring the coach back in WWE is have him be a surprise entrant in the Rumble. And then from there, put him back on commentary or have a special on the WWE Network with Cole or with Coach. I mean, kind of like they did with Kurt Angle. And they still have one for Goldberg that still hasn't been broadcast yet, I don't think yet, on the WWE Network for W24 specials. So have something like that. And then maybe a DVD or whatever thing else they want to have. And Coach doing PR for them and other things, press for them outside of WWE and being an ambassador and stuff like that. So I think that would be kind of a good way to have Coach back in WWE in that way. But I think the way that would all start is with him in a surprise entrance in the Rumble and then sprouting out from there. Because the next thing after that, of course, would be the WWE.com interview, for after the show, after Royal Rumble, as they do with the other things and specials on the YouTube channel and WWE.com videos for any shows or pay-per-views that they do. And that would be one like they did with Bubba Ray after his surprise and DDP, all those. They had backstage interviews and stuff like that. So I think that would be the next step. And then going from there, like I said, either commentary or otherwise, for the coach for however long you'd say. Or if that's not going to be the case, him coming back to WWE just for a Rumble moment, a surprise, and then going back to ESPN or a WrestleMania moment backstage with The Rock. Have them two interacting again on WWE television. Technically, not they did technically a couple of times on ESPN television on the network there, but in in the WWE world, with them both coming back home and being at WrestleMania and a backstage interview. Not a match, but a backstage interview, a backstage moment with the coach and The Rock, stuff like that. Or hey, you want something else? You have Coach surprise entrant in Royal Rumble. Okay, obviously he's not gonna be winning the Rumble, but he's surprised. And then at WrestleMania, or you have it announced the night after the Rumble that the coach is going to be the guest host of WrestleMania. So that's how you have him at WrestleMania. Then you can have that backstage or in the middle of the ring or whatever with The Rock and others there from the past and whatever interaction, like maybe even Coach and Triple H or others. Those interactions would be interesting. Him with anybody from the late Attitude Era and then afterwards in the Aggression Era with the So I think that would be entertaining. I would enjoy it in that way if they don't want to have him or if he doesn't want to or is able to because he's still working for ESPN. Unless he leaves ESPN and wants to come back to WWE full time, at least in signing an actual contract with WWE. So, besides just being there for a show. So I think either way, either you do it with Royal Rumble Surprise, WWE.com/YouTube channel video afterwards, and then the commentary replacing Booker T, or Royal Rumble moment, and then guest host of WrestleMania and have many interactions that they want to during that show, being 4 hours with all the matches that we have. They can still have other interactions backstage or otherwise with the coach, because with the host, you see them multiple times usually.
Honestly, I really do like the idea of having him, do backstage interviews. I'm not keen on him being in the Royal Rumble, but I'm more than okay with him doing backstage interviews at WrestleMania. And you had me when you said him having a segment with The Rock, because even though, I was just a baby during those times, I've seen the segments between The Rock and Coach, especially when he made him dance and sing, which were honestly freaking hilarious. Especially when he made him sing, when he snatched the microphone out of his hand. But I'm fine with that, Steve. But I wouldn't put him in the Royal Rumble. Now put him on commentary, let him do backstage at WrestleMania, let him host WrestleMania. I'd be more than fine with that. I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I think my favorite moment between The Rock and the coach was when. Oh wait, no, it wasn't the coach. It was Michael Cole. Sorry, wrong person. Michael Cole when The Rock put his T-shirt over his face, but that was Michael Cole interviewing The Rock because he told him not to move, jabroni, and he moved, and then he said, "Hey, don't move." That was kind of funny earlier in the Attitude Era, but that was with Michael Cole, not the coach. Mixing them two up when they were younger for some reason. But anyways, the dancing and everything, and he said, and then while Coach is dancing, The Rock says, "Wave to the camera, say hi to your family," and then kicked him out. That was hilarious. But
that was freaking hilarious.
Yeah, but to have those two interacting and everything, and aren't we supposed to have a match at some point at one of these WrestleManias between The Rock and Triple H? I remember SmackDowns ago when they had that 15-year anniversary show or whatever.
Yeah,
and they had an interaction between The Rock and Triple H, and Stephanie was in the middle for a short time, and then she left. Part of it as well. And they were talking about any place, anytime, we'll sell it out, but it'll still be the same. I'll kick your ass, as Triple H said to The Rock. But I don't know, maybe we'll have that at some point. But specifically with the coach, I don't mind that to be the case.
Well, Steve, the thing with The Rock and Triple H is you got to remember, they were originally going to have it at WrestleMania 32 because remember, the 15th anniversary thing happened first. Then there was a segment at WrestleMania 31 with Ronda Rousey, which, was great. Then the plan was to do Rock and Triple H at WrestleMania 32 with Ronda in Rock's corner and Stephanie in Triple H's corner. But of course, a lot of injuries hurt those plans. Seth's injury, John Cena got injured, so he had to flip around the card and stuff. So we got Triple H and Roman Reigns. And to be fair, no disrespect to either one of them, that match was completely boring. So I kind of wish those plans had fallen in place. But I don't think a match between Rock and Triple H would be that great. I think it definitely would be better than the Triple H Roman Reigns match we got.
Yeah, I would. I don't know. It'd be awesome to see a Rock Triple H match one more time. In one of these WrestleManias, and Triple H probably he wanted to main event it. We'll still have to see whatever that would even happen or be. Moving forward, the other news. Speaking of people coming back, hearing rumors about Kelly and Caitlyn coming back, Paige coming back, and it being rumored that she's going to be on SmackDown Live. So on those three women coming back to WWE, or specifically Paige probably will, or most likely, and then the other two maybe. Who would you be the most interested to see? And how do you think everything will for all of them being back in WWE, and how would you use them?
Wait, what'd you say, Steve? I got distracted. What'd you say?
For Paige, Kelly, or Caitlyn coming back, what are your thoughts on any of them coming back, and where do you think they would all be able to fit on any brand, Raw or SmackDown?
Paige, yes, she's still young. People forget all the drama that's happened with her over the last year and a half. How great of a wrestler she is, and how good on the mic she can be. Give me anti diva Paige from NXT, and I'm all good. Kelly, I'm not really fond of her coming back. She was never the best in ring, and she was high for her looks. Caitlyn, I'm not really on board with that either. No disrespect to either one of them. I just feel like with how women's wrestling has progressed, I don't know if having Caitlyn, especially Kelly back would really help. But I'm more than happy with Paige coming up, and she should go to SmackDown because they need her. With Asuka going to Raw, like I said last week.
Right, yeah. As we talked about that last, it makes most sense there. Other news and notes: WWE sending a cease and desist letter to the Young Bucks for using the X stuff and the chop and all other stuff. And if they continue to, $14,000 fine coming their way and stuff like that, which to them I'm sure are mere baby shells, but still, it's the principle of the thing. The WWE, since it is an intellectual property, they can do whatever the heck they want in that respect. With anything. Plus, if we said something or did something that was of interest to WWE, if they wanted to, or if they even saw this, they technically could do something to us. Or anybody, whatever. Or if they feel like send cease and desist letters to a YouTube channel, okay, fine, whatever. Be petty. But that's up to them because that's their business, that's their thing. And I guess in the way they created it, so I guess it's understandable they want to hold on to it because it's going to be theirs and use it in other ways. So point being is that is what happened. And what are your thoughts on that with WWE sending a cease and desist letter to the Young Bucks for using the X signs?
Why? That's my only thing. Why do that? I mean, is it WWE really being petty here? I mean, wow, WWE being petty. In other words, water wet. But still, this is not even something you need to acknowledge. Man, there's no threat to you. This is unnecessary. I don't get it. I just don't understand why WWE would feel the need to do that. But whatever floats the boat.
Yeah, I guess for sure it be what it be, I guess, in that way. But either way, it's certainly going to be interesting to see how that is moving forward. Beyond that, not too many other news and stuff that I have on my end. I'm sure you're in as well. So I think for that bit of do, it's just an hour or so of content. Like I said, talking about Raw, SmackDown, and some news and notes. Like to those that are watching live or archive, I apologize for this episode being short, but NFL game, the Packers facing the Bears, going on right now as I speak. I want to get back to my family and watching that game together, family time, so to speak, and go from there. But I think Kyron, first stopping by for being here for tonight's episode. I will be back, as always, on Monday night for the Raw review. Then SmackDown review on Tuesday, NFL show on Wednesday, and then Thursday we have predictions next week. So already back to predictions. Kyron being the champion from last week, almost going undefeated for the last pay-per-view. So it's going to be interesting to see how, for No Mercy, and see how he does now for Hell in a Cell, the SmackDown pay-per-view event that is next Sunday. Not this Sunday, but next Sunday. And we'll have a prediction episode next week for everybody to see. And then obviously we'll be interacting live on Twitter that weekend on that Sunday, as we always do. So if there's any last words, Kyrie, you want to say, and where people find you online and otherwise.
I have nothing else to say, but I'm ready to plug my channel. Follow me on Twitter, SplashBro Kyron with this SNK capitalized. My Instagram is SplashBro_Kyron. My DeviantArt and Tumblr are Kyron Chase, all lowercase. And my YouTube is Kyron Chase with the K and C capitalized. I do videos on wrestling, more specifically WWE, Sonic the Hedgehog, and My Little Pony Friendship is Magic.
Exactly. And for me, welcome to follow me on Twitter at WWE_podcast. Subscribe to this channel here. Like, share the video. Ring that bell. Ring the bell for this channel, for Mark's channel, Mark Ramble, and for Kyron Chase's channel, Kyron Chase. Check that stuff out. And we'll bid you all adieu. Hope you guys and gals have a great rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of your weekend as well. And as always, take care.
Peace out.